Hey beautiful people, I hope this all finds you well. Once again, it is a heartfelt pleasure to sit down and share some moments with you all and explore some of the deeper insights and some of the wisdom that was cultivated together from our Beltane Earth journey. So for us, we traversed that Beltane tide around 9-10 days ago, and as always we often say that we see these times and these moments beyond a day, more of a season and more of a tide. And for us that was taken around 9-10 days ago as we traversed into Beltane, and through that Beltane doorway, that portal of time that runs all the way into the heart of summer. You know, so many people are probably looking out the window, especially those of you that are in the UK, and kind of wondering if spring has arrived, let alone the talk of midsummer. But it really absolutely has. There in the woodland we were met by the most incredible carpet of wild garlic, which now is flowering too. So we were out this weekend just gone, or Friday, and we were in amongst that, and we were foraging some wild garlic for we make up a kraut very similar to sauerkraut that you would make with a cabbage, and we have for the last couple of years made up a kraut using the wild garlic and fermenting it with chilies, and it is wonderful and a real good immune booster as well. So it's the same principle of making sauerkraut, and we just blend ours with chili. It is so simple and easy to make, and one that will preserve for, well, we are still eating last summer's harvest, because it kind of ferments, and the brine keeps it, and it keeps it really well. And as time goes on, you know, it's like 3 months in, it becomes about at the right kind of consistency to be able to eat, and then, you know, a year on now, it's really mellow. You've got the chili flavors coming through, and you've got that kind of richness of the garlic. Great as a relish, great on poached eggs, and right now wild garlic is in abundance, and also the flower heads just before they burst, really good to be able to kind of put into apple cider vinegar with some peppercorns, maybe a little bit of chili flakes again, and then kind of just let them sit. And again, we've got some from last spring and summer, and we use them a bit like capers. We use them on pizza toppers. So, you know, nature is out there and it's gifting us so much. And we were met with this array of wild garlic, and then this beautiful smell just come thereafter. And you look over and there was just this thick blanket of bluebells, which was absolutely beautiful. And in the last week they have enriched even more, where we've had cooler temperatures and we've had lots of rain, which seems to be the nature and order of things now, as we traverse more deeply into what is going on within the land, and just this kind of sense of you know, like those things that, you know, were once maybe predictable have become quite unpredictable, or is it that they've become predictable in their unpredictability, tongue-tied unpredictability. And just this beautiful smell of rich bluebells, and as we moved into the grove of trees, we gathered together, and Joe wove this beautiful song to greet everybody, and we offered them all a seed, which was the seed of potential, seed of their potential, which was gifted to us last autumn. So we held them on our altar over the winter what Spirit the Innate call the dreaming, something that was phrased from a sense of connection and contact with Bridget, and she said the dreaming of winter. And then as spring arrived, it was the awakening of spring. So over the winter we held these seeds on our altar in our bloat bowl, and then they representing, you know, the dreams, the seeds of potential for our kin, clan and our beloved community. And then we gifted those as they come into the grove at Beltane. And the song that Joe wove was really, really powerful, and that's, you know, something that is such a blessing and a gift when you can kind of sit together and, you know, alchemize those words, wordsmiths that we are. And the song was accompanied by the drum, the shamanic drum, and it was really, really lovely. And it went like this, not that I'm going to sing it, but it went like this: seed of what I wish to be, grow, bud and bloom in me. Who I am is what you see. Ground the arrow and set me free. So one more time: seed of what I wish to be. So the seed that is sat there on the altar over the dreaming, over the winter, it's holding that potential and the intention of holding the dreams for our kin, our clan and community. So seed of what I wish to be. And it was as we moved into the grove, we ingested the seed. Grow, bud and bloom in me. Who I am is what you see. We'll share more about that in a moment. Ground the arrow and set me free. So over at Ostara, when we gathered at the Nook, because the weather was really, really crazy at Ostara, there in March, we gathered in the Nook and we took this beautiful, beautiful shamanic journey, led by Joe, deep down, spiraling deep down into the stone circle. And for us, we are able to, when we physically work within our earth journeys, we're able to physically spiral within a stone circle, really humble, really beautiful stone circle that has been crafted and woven by my dear dad and his partner Judy, and birthed this stone circle. So we was able to spiral into this stone circle, and that's where we started our Beltane ceremony. Was the guys spiraled the stone circle 3 times and then come round into the woodland grove. They met myself and Joe, and then we passed them the seed. But at Ostara, we took this shamanic drum journey to spiral into the stone circle to meet Bridget, who then presented us with some questions, and there was an exchange, and the intention was, and it goes back to an experience that I had when I first felt her many years ago, when I kind of turned to her and I said, you know, who are you? I felt this presence around me, this new presence around me, and I simply said, who are you and what are you about? And her answer to me was, and many of you know this, Shane, who are you and what are you about? So the intention, very powerful. The intention was to journey into the stone circle to meet Bridget and to explore that, you know, as we move from the dreaming of winter to look at what we've composted, what has just fallen away, what no longer serves us, what we are allowing to fall away. And then as we move into the awakening of spring, you know, is who are we as we emerge from the depths of winter into the awakening of spring? Who are we and what is waking up in us and what are we awakening into? You know, very, very powerful. And then we wove these beautiful prayer arrows, and the intention was then to bring them to Beltane, and then we was going to plant them, and we did plant them in the ground around our fire circle, with the intention of who we are. So who am I? What you see, ground the arrow and set me free. And we were gifted 3 really beautiful arrows as well, that were made from a dear friend who's an archer, and these arrows held the prayers for a community, a clan, and the world as a whole. 3 prayer arrows holding those prayers for ourselves, each other, for a kin, a clan, a tribe, a community, and the 3rd being for the world as a whole, and then grounding them into the fire circle. And the others, they still continue to sit around the fire circle, and as we move into summer school, which is in a couple of weeks time, we, with a larger community around that fire, will place those prayer arrows into the fire, allowing those prayers to be carried in a very sacred way, in a very sacred manner. So as I say, as we pulled that woodland gate close, we were really greeted by a rich carpet of bluebell. It was as if we were seeing them for the first time. And as I say, as the week has gone on, as it's gone deeper and deeper, the colour has become richer and richer, and the smell has become deeper and deeper alongside the wild garlic. You know, you see, if you've got ancient woodland nearby, or a short ride away, lovely, incredible time to wander that, and you know, it's the time of the Fae for sure. You know, the woodland had really burst to life. It was full of scent. As I say, mixture of wild garlic and bluebell, a smell that transports you, and something I'd said before about a chemical reaction that you know, literally expands the eyes. I think it's called DMT, but there's this real kind of expansion that happens, and it literally does. It expands the pupil, so it dilates the pupil, and it literally chemically lifts you. And that's interesting, isn't it? That happens at springtime, that it almost like expands you after the retraction of winter. You get this expansion. The blossom does it, flowers do it, bluebell absolutely incredibly does it, and it is this natural chemical reaction that is gifted by nature to expand and awaken the body after the depths of winter, and it is a smell that transports you beyond this world into the other, into the Elfhame, the other world, the world of the Fae for sure. Very powerful. It's such a sight, such a gift and a blessing. With it comes Beltane, May Day. Yeah, as always we often say, and I'm gently saying again, it is more than a day for us, it is a tide. And there we were gathered around our fire circle, and we were greeted this year by ravens. Only recently has the ravens been appearing at the woodland. They've come further along the valley. They were at the far end of the valley. We knew of some ravens living there around this old manor house, and they've come further and further along the valley. And buzzards overhead have been there for many years, and the geese had returned this spring, and they were nesting on the island at Beltane, and now they have 6 young. So, you know, when you kind of look out the window and think there's not much happening out there, when's spring going to arrive? Spring has sprung. It's about getting amongst it, regardless of that kind of grey that we've been having and that rain. There is so much magic happening out there. And the geese, yeah, 6 young, and they were nesting on the island. Beltane translates to bright fire. It translates to bright fire, and we burned a really steady, solid, strong fire, especially as we wanted those prayer arrows to be held around that beautiful bright fire. For us, we tenderly place those prayer arrows on our altar and charged them before we placed them in the ground, those of which we wove and crafted at Ostara, there at the Nook, all holding our intention alongside the 3 gifted arrows. Prayers for the land, the kin, clan and the world as a whole. So, as much as when you look out the window and you think, is it light and warmth and heat are slowly returning to our lands, and our days expand so much longer now, just as the flowers, the leaves and medicine share their songs and stories, so do we. So do we share those stories, fused with a longing and a knowing and a remembrance, a sacred vow, an intention that roots us on our path of honouring that remembrance of who we are and who we've always been. Think about that journey to meet Bridget spiralling into the stone circle. So it's that kind of invitation to really kind of honour and stir up that remembrance of who we are and who we have always been, and take that a deeper layer, who we've always been for 1,000 and more lives. You know, it's like, you know, often people say to me, so when did you learn this? I don't know if it's learnt. I feel that it lives within us. It's then remembered. It's activated. It stirs. It births. It's born. You know, we are the sum of 1,000 and more lives. You know, I believe that we don't just live this life, we have lived many. So we are the sum of 1,000 and more lives. And there we were, we wandered then from our far circle, we wandered deep into the woodland, beyond the 300-year-old birch tree, not birch, beech tree, 300-year-old beech tree, was surrounded there on the edge of the woodland by birch. We went into the heart of the woodland, and there in the heart of the woodland is a 300-year-old beech tree. Something beautiful to do at Beltane, to go and take pilgrimage and go and meet that beautiful beech tree, and Dad sharing some beautiful medicine stories as we went about the beech tree and the young beech trees that had been birthed from the beech nuts, and then this beech tree that is further along that is surrounded by hazel, and really and truthfully it should not be able to survive because it would be struggling for the light, but actually it's the mycelium from the mother beech tree that is feeding this young tree, and it is the only other beech tree there, but it is being fed by this mycelium. You know, incredible stories and medicine stories that were shared, and we gathered some small hazel, thin pieces of hazel. We gathered them, and we then come back and we made these beautiful crowns for ourselves. You know, time of Beltane, of flower crowns, and we made them from hazel and hazel leaf and ribbon, which was really warm and fun and celebratory. And I do believe someone, mentioning no names, she was crowned as Mother Mary, Mischief and Mayhem. Mother Mary, Mischief and Mayhem. And then we were all crowned. And as Spirit often say, for when we dream alone, we dream, yet when we dream together, we shape reality. Which is absolutely true. And we wove this wonderful ceremony ritual using a really magical mirror. That whole thing of, you know, who are you? What do you see? And for those of you that are a part of Beyond the Hedge, we are going to work more deeply with that over the coming weeks. But for now, I wanted to share all of that with you, stir up those thoughts. And when we drove those prayer arrows into the ground, we really did whip up a storm. We grabbed lots of musical instruments. That is very Beltane, isn't it? Lots of musical instruments. And for my birthday, I was gifted this beautiful, beautiful frame drum as a Remo frame drum. And I normally play the Remo shamanic drum or my reindeer drum when I'm inside. And it's beautiful frame drum. The thing is with frame drums, they're ancient. They are absolutely ancient. The fact they're round, there's so much metaphor, so much story around the drum. They are just really, really stunning and beautiful. And to think that they were outlawed, just amazing, amazing and incredible. But I'm going to gently leave that all with you, and until next time, keep shining, take care, bye bye.